Anyone who knows me can tell you that I really love comic books and superheroes. I mean, for crying out loud, I run a YouTube channel called The Superhero Fan Show. So I figured it might be kind of cool to get an idea about what kind of superheroes that I like a lot. Hey, I'm Joey, and this is my top 10 favorite superheroes. Number 10 is Deadpool. Okay, so I kinda don't think that Deadpool really counts as a superhero. I mean, he doesn't exactly go around saving people unless it's in his own personal benefit. However, Deadpool makes the cut on this list for pure entertainment value alone. His comics are uniquely funny, and I sure like my dark humor from time to time. His fourth wall breaks make him even funnier. So, anytime Deadpool shows up in a comic, I know that I'm in for a good time. Number 9, Booster Gold. Not many people probably would put this character on a list of best superheroes, but Booster Gold is horribly underrated in my eyes. He was one of my favorite characters on that show, Batman the Brave and the Bold, and his portrayal there as a wannabe hero from the future returning back in time for nothing but the glory is really different from most other superhero origins. He's a great team player too in the comics. I especially love his dynamic with the Blue Beetle and the members of the Justice League International team. Number 8, The Thing from the Fantastic Four. Without the Fantastic Four, we wouldn't have the Marvel Universe. They're incredibly important Marvel characters who have sadly been ignored a lot lately just because of the lackluster movie versions. However, in the comics, they're great. They're not just a team of heroes, but they're scientists and explorers too, and they have this wonderful family dynamic. I put the Thing on the list above the other members of the team because I feel like Ben Grimm has always had the better story. The tragedy of his transformation and the arc of him learning to love himself is a very powerful one. Plus, his brotherly teasing toward the Human Torch is always enjoyable. Number 7, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was never a character that I truly cared very much for. I didn't think any of the cartoon versions were particularly fascinating or likable, but the movie really won me over on her character. Honestly, I freaking cried during the Wonder Woman movie. That's how powerful it was to me. Wonder Woman is an iconic character. Her journey into man's world and trying her best to adapt and understand everything is great. She's a fun character and stands for hope and love. Wonder Woman truly is wonderful. Number 6, Iron Man. Yet another hero that made the list mainly due to their film counterpart. No one can deny the importance of Robert Downey Jr.'s version of Tony Stark. He's a bit of a jerk, but still pretty likable. He's a character that's a lot of fun to have interact with others, especially when trading wits. In the comics, he had an array of armors that I always thought were super cool looking. I mean, seriously, what kind of kid did not want toys of all of them when they were growing up? Number 5, Daredevil. The lawyer by day, vigilante by night Matt Murdock is an extremely compelling character, and if I may say, one of the most unique heroes in all of comics. He's just a normal dude with no real superpowers. Unless you count his kinda sorta super hearing, but unlike most heroes who are just normal guys, he's not a billionaire. He doesn't have tons and tons of gadgets, he's just a man. And a blind one at that. His religion adds a lot of depth to his character too, as religion tends to not be something really highlighted by comic writers. You can definitely say a lot about a character who's a Christian who dresses up as the devil to take down criminals when he cannot put them away through the legal system. It's pretty interesting in my book. Number 4, Superman and Captain America. Now this one's a bit of a cheat, but I simply cannot rank one higher than the other. The story of Steve Rogers willing to do anything to help his country despite countless physical problems is refreshing and pretty unique to the comic world, and his old-fashioned American values being challenged by the ways of the present is a really genius story element. But Superman stands for similar things. They're both grand heroes willing to sacrifice themselves whenever necessary. They're natural leaders who are optimistic and believe in humanity, despite all the horrible things they've witnessed. They're role models, especially the current movie version of Captain America. DC's portrayal of Superman in the movies should definitely take a few notes from Cap, who is way closer to the comic iteration of Superman than the movie version of Superman is. Number 3, the Hulk. Another character that can probably be argued isn't a superhero, but man oh man do I love Bruce Banner. He's a man of science who transforms himself into something awful. At first, he can't control it, and he's internally tortured by the destruction and death he unwillingly causes. However, once Banner learns to master the Hulk, he becomes a force for good and uses his abilities to help others. The sort of Jekyll and Hyde dynamic that Banner and Hulk have is great. Some of my favorite moments in comics are when the two personalities are struggling inside of Bruce's mind. Number 2, Batman. Another Bruce, this time not Banner, but Wayne. Everyone knows Bruce Wayne's story. Everyone knows about the gadgets, the cars, and the fact that he has the best rogues gallery in all of comics. So many Batman stories are about his insanity being tested. Perhaps he's just as crazy as the people he puts away in Arkham Asylum, but Batman always overcomes adversity and proves that he is a force for good, something that I have always found compelling and appealing about the character. Number 1, Spider-Man. Peter Parker is without a doubt the most human character in all of comics. He's the most tortured, undergoes the most stress, and deals with real-life struggles that most common people deal with. He has financial problems, takes care of his sick aunt, mourns the loss of his uncle, and is definitely not smooth with the ladies. He's really relatable to almost every person on the planet. And despite all the things wrong with his life, he always chooses to do the right thing. Spider-Man is a character whose whole purpose is to show people by example that life can suck sometimes, but that's no excuse to not do the right thing. After all, with great power, there must also come great responsibility. So that's my list. Let me know what comic book characters and superheroes that you love the most. This has been Joey of the Superhero Fan Show. Thanks for watching.